Ashkan, my friend, how are we?
Great. How's it going?
I'm doing incredibly well. Dude, the cover of Forbes, how the hell did you pull that one off?
That's great. Yeah, it's been a couple of months working on it, but yeah, it was good. Yeah, we're really blessed that it was the right timing for us as well.
Great
An amazing
shot.
team.
I like with the arms crossed.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's using the same thing. So we're trying to turn it into like a promotional stuff now.
I
We're gonna
love
wear
it.
this all the time now.
Yeah, it's a great thing. Like every media interview you do, anything, just always in the same top.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking of it today right now as well. Yeah. But it's good. It's working. So let's go.
Yeah, well, you're on the show. We love to see you. Give us a little bit of context into what you're building at Zero One.
So we are building Amara. It's a platform that you can create 3D worlds in basically instantly. But the main difference with us and the other stuff is out there is that we are focusing on uh, building on top of the existing infrastructures that the developers can use it immediately. Like for example, if you're using game engines like Unreal or Unity, you could use our models on top of it, so you can just basically adapt it straight away. Whereas the other models usually is kind of like working on their own model and just doesn't really work with the existing infrastructure, if that makes sense.
Break
And
that down a little simply for me. It is the most complicated thing that you're doing, but in short, you basically
yeah,
allow us to build our worlds for games, right?
yes, yes. So let's think of it like, for example, you say, I wanted to be in this podcast and in this room. I can see like a drums on the background or something hanging on a wall. And then it just understand exactly what you're looking for, identify the elements, goes and create those elements.
And it's happening in real time.
Well, it's going to be real time for sure, but it's going to take us a while until we get there. So it's going to be some delays for the time being, but still.
What's the blocker there? Is it the fact that there's just not enough compute or edge compute for that?
I would say it's a few different steps. So we have obviously generating every single asset. Then when you're working with the game engines, then you need to bring it up to the game engine. So setting it up, it might sometimes take a while. But yeah, because it's a lot of steps, and then also the compute, it's it's another blocker. But I think the compute is going to be less of an issue as we go further and further. All of the GPUs and all of the hardware is getting better and better. So it's a less of a worry for the time being, I'd say. Yeah.
I found it amazing when you were showing me the visuals and we were
Yeah.
sitting there. I was like, am I in an episode of Black Mirror? Like what is
Yeah,
happening right now? It's insane that
exactly.
it's so fluid even today.
Yeah, and I would say it's kind of like the Black Mirror minus that bad stuff that happens towards the end of the episode. Yeah. Uh,
How did you come up with the idea? Where did this all start?
So it's really came with three of us, the co-founders, myself, Rupert and James. We met at film school initially, and then we were working in this space ourselves, like from myself, for example, or from the trainee positions, like basically making coffees in on sets, all the way to, for example, working with 3D artists, or just in as also like a period of time I was doing it myself, and then Rupert and James also doing the same in the industry, studying the same. So we were using game engines a lot to create our stories and also working with these studios. Now, when we started this company, our vision was really the issue that we were facing all the time on set or with other studios that when we were working with them. It was always you don't really have that feeling of the pen and paper that like I
Mhm.
remember like when I was like 7, 8, and you were drawing something, you were always, or even like earlier, you were always thinking about something, and then it's constantly drawing and drawing and drawing. And you are in a flow state of creativity that is like magic. But as we grow up and we're working and studying in this space, we realize the more and more you go further, it's the more steps you need to follow. There's so much fragmentation. So you have like a ton of different tools that you need to use, ton of different softwares that you need to use. And it's not really easy to just from your idea until your execution. It's always a lot of steps. And then that flow state is usually gone, right? So it's let's just give an example. Like if you're in a major studio and you have an idea, until your idea is become a shot,
Hmm.
it's probably a few days to a few weeks, right? We were always impressed by the idea, say how we can bring that pen and paper feeling back. That you as an artist, as a creator, you're just constantly thinking about how to tell the story, how you can change it, instead of just saying how we can just do this, how we can,
And I'm
oh, now I
assuming
need to
right
go do
now
this.
it's a very like back and forth stop start process as you want to
Yeah,
as you really want to create, right?
exactly. That you kind of like give you the ability to be in that flow state constantly. And for us, it was something that we love to use it all the time. So we can't wait to say, oh, like Rupert and James and I, and now with new team members, we always say, oh, we can't wait to use this. This is gonna be really fun, and we can't wait to share it with everyone.
Do you
Say like, this
find
is
do you
gonna be
find
really fun.
yourself like getting ready to sort of like lock in for a flow state sesh where you'll just spend
Yeah,
3 4 hours just building these worlds and thinking about like what is the type of game you want to build, what is the type of environment you want to build, how it's going to interact with everything, etc.
100%. And I feel it's gonna be a game changer in this space, that you is going to be like, we went from pen and paper to all the way to social media and the short form content and constant just scrolling, that sort of stuff. I think I'm not going to say there's going to be a wave, but I can see definitely a wave coming in as for a market that probably didn't exist before. And also, in a way, it's kind of like a post AGI thing. Some people have a different understanding or different views of how it's going to go. Nobody really knows how it's going to go. But what we think it might be a good way is imagine that all of this stuff that you do is automated, like the admin task and that sort of stuff. And then the value of creativity is really high at that point. And then imagine that you can just tell the stories just nonstop. And then it's really exciting, but it's also a very big question mark. What's going to happen?
What's the future you're seeing here, right? Like you've obviously done your time and deeply understood VFX and gaming and these environments
Yeah.
and this world building that's happening. When you look to the future and sort of like you sold the dream to Eworon and like the vision of what this is going to change in the world, what was that?
That's a good question. I think
Because I
we,
see cogs turning in your head, my friend, and these
yeah.
aren't normal cogs that are turning.
Yeah, it's really hard to predict it, but we wanted to be the one that actually allow everyone to be able to just create something super fast. And yeah, I probably don't have the right answer to it right now. I'm gonna say, but I think it's gonna be exciting. I'll try to see it from the optimistic side. Um, of course, there's gonna be always a negativity, and just like there might be the other side of the coin. But we'll focus on the positive side of it. Let's say that. How about that?
Yeah, that works for me. I think it works for everyone. We don't want to go down this AGI route that's turned into the Terminator.
Yeah, yeah. But it's a really good example I can give you. For example, when in 90s, chess in the championship, like it was like a major chess player was playing with the computer for the first time and lost for the first time. And he said, it's going to be the end of chess. And it's really interesting. Now we're saying like chess.com, like chess players, never been more active, never been more players. We have over 1 million
Hmm.
active players
It's
on a
supercharged the
daily
game.
basis. Yeah. And it's like, it turns out like, people are not interested to just see, robots playing robots. They were more interested to play against another human. And chess is not that. So for us, that's, obviously it's a completely different scenario with AI, but I'll try to see that, okay, so it might be one of those situations. It's much faster to do it, more fun, but it's not going to completely ruin the whole thing. It's going to be a very different form, but still going to be alive,
Ashkan, were you a
I'd
gamer
say.
growing up, or were you a what do they call people that love films? Not
Film geek,
filmologist.
yeah.
Yeah, film geek by any chance?
Yeah, films, both games, maybe
All right,
games
break
less.
it down for me. What were we playing in
Yeah.
our youth?
Oh, a lot of football in, the better FIFA or PES all the
Which
time.
one? Which one did we prefer? Because like there was some really good PES years, but FIFA, let's be honest, was the dominant force.
Ex Exactly. I think I was more of a pass.
Oh, this
And
guy.
yeah. And then I think it's changed throughout times with FIFA. It's it's a little bit much less with like the time and working on this product. It's we don't spend much, but we still try to actively just try different ideas. But I don't get the same feeling that we used to get when it was like PlayStation 2 era,
Mhm.
and even earlier than that, or
As they
Super
say in
Mario era.
football, as they say in sports, the game's gone.
Yeah, it's changing. Like I played it a couple of months ago, and
Hmm.
it was very different. It was like completely. It's just the whole thing. It was more complicated as well. It looks like you're like in a pro league. For us, it was like not that the PESA stuff. It was like a few options. It's
But
really fun though.
do you look at what you're building with Amara and think to yourself, actually, I can get back, I can give the gamer, I can give the watcher, the viewer back that energy that I felt when I was
Yeah,
playing on the PS2? Because
100%,
what
hundred
I think
percent.
the applications of Amara in a Grand Theft Auto, as an example, are
Yeah,
incredible. Or in a
yeah,
FIFA, in a like when I'm walking, FIFA My Player, where it's like you playing,
mm,
but they've sort of got these weird kit rooms, and now
yeah.
you can actually have the real stadium with the
Interesting. Yeah,
exact same dimensions, the feeling, the flavor. When you walk into, I'm not a football fan, but I know one of Liverpool's grounds in Anfield, you can feel that energy which you can't feel in the game today
yeah,
because of all sorts of IP rights, and also they don't have access to those images
yeah,
today. With Amara, you can sort of build that out, or in a GTA. I mean, quite
yeah.
literally, you can map London.
Yeah, and you just go to like with maybe a glasses on or something. You just suddenly
Dude,
digitally
it's all there. It's
stadium.
all on Google. It's all Street View.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, but it's also exciting is because it's not going to be 100% the same feeling, right?
Mm.
But imagine if you're somewhere along the ocean in somewhere like a small country, or for whatever reason you're not here, but you still have access to the opportunity to feel at least 80% there. It's better than not having that feeling at all.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I see it that way, but I also definitely feel like Amara can just play a role, not only in that one, that side, but also even in animations and film. What you
Talk
touched it
to
a
me
little
about
bit.
that.
Yeah. So, for example, we know for like my background specifically, we were working in visual effects, but game engines are actually quite actively used now for virtual productions, let's say. So where you use either a like replacing green screen with LED volumes or different form of virtual production, you still use game engines to design the entire environment, design the entire what you would like to put it in the background, let's say, and then you go on set and you basically try to shoot the final uh, footage right on set, which against the green screen, like with green screen, you can do still a lot of stuff, but imagine as an actor, you go there and you see everything there. It's a
Hmm.
very different situation. So with game engines, it's already been used. We can also see like Amara, for instance, just be creating those environments really quick, especially if you're on set and sometimes you have a lot of notes from the director or supervisor. They wanted to tweak something really quickly. And sometimes those tweaks are not really possible
Oh
to do it.
wow! So this
Yeah,
isn't just a external product. This can happen in real
yeah,
time on set.
yeah,
Director wants to
yeah,
change, producer wants to
yeah,
change. Those execs wants a potential change, or there's some conflicting
yeah.
ideas. You can change that,
Yeah,
and you can A/B test like there and then.
yeah. Obviously, it's mostly coming because of the game engine
Mm.
itself, not just because of Amara. But Amara just kind of like speed it up essentially, and sometimes those changes might not even happen because it might be a lot of implications to the rest of the project. So, and usually sign it off quite early on. But yeah, you always encounter in film industry as well that directors suddenly just a change that they wanted to do, and then oh, we need another week to do it. Now you can just do it in a second. It's a massive difference. You know what I mean? It's
I
it's really
I think
changed.
it's going to change the way that we think about producing games and movies. What do you think?
Yes. Yes.
Just it opens up completely new narratives. It opens up
Yeah.
like single player narratives in films like Black Mirror tried in some of those
Yeah.
episodes. Did you see that vision as you started building this out?
I think it was really gradual. So for us, it's all started with actually not a product. It was with a side project we did, and It was like a sci-fi project. We tried to use the version one of the platform, kind of like combining a lot of different AI tools and then a lot of different traditional tools. And then gradually it just kept evolving. And then we went to a point that we were just using it with other studios or other companies coming to us and using it to visualize their technology. But then it get to a point it's like, oh, hang on, we can do this. We can now actually just focus on this, and it will imagine what we will unlock for others. So it wasn't like, an instant thing. It was a very gradual process, I'd say. And it took us 5 years to just, for 3 to 4 years to just understand, learning about each other, the co-founders, and just values, and just be super aligned on the future. But then as soon as we were aligned, it took us another year or two to evolve with the ideas from version one to where we're going now, essentially.
I want to ask, like, given that this relationship with your co-founders has been so long, like getting
Yeah,
aligned on around a single cause and a single mission and a single vision, what was that process like? Was it difficult
yeah,
to do so, or over that 3-year period, or was it that
yeah,
you had to understand the values of each other first and align yourselves and figure out, where can I
yeah,
push you to an extent? Where do you push me?
yeah.
Because it seems like you've built one hell of a killer team over there.
Oh, I think that's probably I'm the luckiest person to have Rupert and James as the co-founders. It's like the process for us was very slow, partially because of me, and also they were, like we're just learning about each other. It was maybe because I had another experience, like another venture, and I realized how important is that to be aligned on that
Mm.
first with the co-founders, even beyond the technical abilities, I'd say. And that for me was really important for the second time that's gonna do, make sure this is the right team. And the amazing thing about Rupert and James is obviously their life values, how they think, and they also, uh, not to mention their technical abilities, but how we see a common ground with where we want to go and how we support each other was again very gradual. But the more we did it further, there was obviously ups and downs in throughout the process. But the more we went further, the more we were more assured, oh, this is actually a really good combo, very good complementary skills. And then very aligned vision, but also um, I think sometimes therapists, like there are like, there's a lot of issues that comes up with the business. You just need to have a very safe environment that you can just go through it very, even if you're not happy about it, you just express yourself.
And I
And
guess
I
in
think
your
Rupert,
case, you can just quite
yeah,
literally build the environments that you want to go and express yourselves
yeah,
in as well now, right? You can sort of like jump in VR, sit in a room
yeah.
together and just hash it out.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But for us, it's like now in a situation that we can be like 24/7 next to each other, just working, 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 talking, talking, talking. And we're not gonna get, tired. That's a good sign for me. Like we just keep on going. Um, and yeah, yeah, but I think it's a very important part of it. So if Rupert and James were not part of this, I don't think we could have grown as much as we could have we've done it so far. So still early stage, but yeah, without them, we couldn't do it.
I
100%.
hear I hear also from the grapevine you're part of eWar. Talk to me about
Yes.
that a little bit. They don't believe in everyone. They sort of handpick, and
Yeah.
what is it, like a 0.0001
Yes.
percent of applicants sort of
Yeah.
end up getting into as an EWAR fellow. Like,
Yeah.
what was that like? That coveted fellow.
Yeah, I think maybe to say that, like, let me just give a shout out to Oxford AI team. We did this competition around like end of last year, and there was a few Evor team there. There was also we just came across with Evor. Obviously, the brand is it's amazing itself. And then we then get connected with the Evor team afterwards, but we didn't even know how big they were until we got very very late in the stage. But one thing I really like about Evor is the team. It's really top notch. Like everyone is like they done unicorn companies before starting just joining Evor. And you just access like you're just talking to them, coaching, they're coaching us, helping us all the way. But for any particular thing that you need from business at this stage, there is one person who done it like 100x before. Like, for example, if it's a marketing, the chief marketing person there, Roberta's fantastic. It's like I think he grew the company from 0 to 100 million ARR by himself. It's just crazy background itself. Like our, like the partners, Paul, Daniel, Peter, Florian, everyone, Sonia, the team. It's
Who
just
do you lean on over there?
crazy.
Like who do you enjoy spending time with and talking to, really understanding their mind? Who surprises you?
I think it every day is a surprise, which is
Mm.
great. But I try to talk to everyone as much as possible. Like Paul, it's amazing guy. Sonia, I like the team, David, everyone. I'm now afraid of like not mentioning any name, and then they're gonna say, "Oh, what about us?" But it's really hard to pick one person. But I would say the
Mm.
speed and the expertise on that particular niche that you go and talk to them is phenomenal. And then also the support we received was it's like beyond expectation. Like we had this community trips that we did like with other startups going to a different country with just your team and a few different startups. It's just like it's amazing. Like because you start
Is
building
it
this,
the energy that sort of builds and builds and builds you sort of
yeah.
end up getting behind it and just it uplifts you to keep on building?
And also like the network you have is very different because
Mm.
if you for example go to obviously we didn't have a different startup accelerators slash fellowships, but speaking to friends there, for example, the experience is usually that you are on like on an office environment for 2 3 months, and usually it's typically around that. But one thing is really make a difference with Ivor is you for example this trip that we did, you had like 10 20 different startups with you in that community house, and you then essentially kind of live with them in the same space, and it's a very different type of network. Like the fellows, the other startups are more like your friends more than just a colleague or just a 2 months 3 months. It's like I see it completely differently, and there was this amazing team there. Like I think you guys had a few of the fellows before as well, but these fellows that are in the grand pitch, everyone is really top notch. I think definitely worth talking to them as well. I
Oh,
can
dude, don't
recommend.
worry. We're getting them on. It's
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah,
happening. We're quite literally live streaming the Renaissance across the block in the world. Talk
that's
to me a
great.
little bit about Meta released their glasses, as you probably saw. Do you
Yeah,
see any applications for what you end up building down the line within the context of
yeah,
the metaverse?
yeah. If you say augmented reality AR glasses, Orion was the big ones with Meta, which is crazy good. And yeah, definitely imagine.
Can we just hold on a moment? 8 months earlier was Orion, and now we've got a physical product with a price tag.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I think it's a very big race now. And I think that would be an addition that would be fantastic. Like imagine you just wear glasses and you just have everything in front of you. And this way, the Amara could be more like a mixed reality instead of just
Mm.
completely in, just the entire thing is virtual. But imagine that you have a part of your office that is just an environment that you designed for this game, and it just go quickly and just walk around it. It's just crazy. You can do it with VR, but I personally prefer glasses. I think it's the next level.
Oh, don't get me
Probably
wrong.
gonna take a while,
I'm a
but
big fan of
yeah,
Vision. Vision for me, like I can see the
yeah,
commercial applications. Stick on the
yeah,
headset. I mean, it looks incredibly weird and super futuristic. But
yeah,
I could probably do the live stream in there.
yeah. I would even make it to the next step. I think with apart from the glasses, I'm so excited to see how we're gonna get on with, not the chip that is going inside here, but more not the Neuralink one, but the ones that you just wear it quickly and then immediately interpret what you're saying or what you're thinking. And imagine that what would be the situation if you imagine something, you're not even saying it and you're creating. It's crazy. It's just even next level. But I'm
Do
very
you see
impressed that
a brain interface where we could think things and then Amara is able to translate that into a quote unquote world?
yeah, I think we already have a lot of companies in this space that they have a device that interpret your brainwaves. So it would be to figure out how we can interpret that interpretations inside, how to build this, which I don't know how long it's going to take, but I think it's definitely coming. and I can't wait for
I
it.
can't wait either. I want to know, what is the bottleneck for you right now? Is it GPU power? Is it the Amara sort of platform in its infancy, or is it funding at the moment?
It's a little bit of everything, really, like you mentioned, but we wanted to make the assets that being created by our platform completely licensed. And, one of the issues with both AI Act in EU, but also for many of the creators itself, it's like, how are we going to make sure these assets are properly, licensed, that we're not going to have an issue with copyright infringement down the line. So building that library is going to take a while, and is
Hmm.
going to take a lot of resources to make it production level. So that is what we're working on there. Also bringing a very, amazing, expanding a team. uh, I would say it's probably one of the biggest challenges always in any company, is like, how you're going to make sure that you bring someone that is aligned with the vision completely, but also technically amazing, but also it works with the structure that you're doing. So it's going to be a fun journey, but we can't wait. It's going to be a fun ride.
I'm looking forward to it. Look, last question. What have you raised? Are we raising? Are we going for evaluation?
Yes. So it's an ongoing conversation right now. So
Awesome.
we usually like 10 to 12 people on a day, every day. So it's crazy.
So we're gonna
It's
have to
we had
check
this
back
grant.
in.
Yeah, yeah, we had this grand pitch with Ivor like very recently, like a few days ago. And honestly, we were very, very, very impressed and super happy to see that amount of inbounds, like nonstop. And I made a big mistake, which my coach wouldn't be happy, but I didn't put a buffer and like a limit for one day. And the first day was like 20 calls. I just said, oh, this is insane. But now it's more under control, but still. I think we're gonna have really good news very, very soon to
Love
announce with
it. Can't
everyone.
wait to bring you back on the show to announce that. You know what? I see a
Amazing.
world where you do those 10 interviews all inside the like inside the virtual worlds that you're
That would be
building,
so
and
fun.
like these people are experiencing it in real time with you.
Yes, that would be. Let's do it. Maybe the next version of this podcast would be there. How about
Wow,
that?
I'm open to it. You're open to it. Let's go raise some funds. Ashkan, this has been a
Let's do it.
pleasure. I'm gonna see you on the flip side.
Amazing. Thanks very much for having me. Have a good
Ciao,
one.
ciao.